I'm Mark. I'm a project development champion for Andy's Man Club, area manager, whatever you want to call that. What I do is I help promote and grow Andy's Man Club in my area. So I'm 40, I'm 46, I'm 45, 46 this year. I'm an ex-soldier, an ex-construction worker, and I ended up here because I tried to take my own life. I joined Andy's Man Club about nearly 4 years ago, after my last attempt, and I was signposted here just because I was in a really bad place. And when I went to Andy's Man Club, I sat and listened to guys being open, honest and vulnerable, and it changed my outlook, and I was able to share some really deep and personal stuff that I was dealing with all my life. I'd never dealt with anything that had gone on in my childhood trauma. I was abused, I was raped. When I joined the army, I was forced to push that emotion down because that's what the army do. I was scared of being ridiculed or being judged, as we said. So I held it in, and I came out of the army, and I masked everything I was doing with drugs and alcohol. Got myself into some really tight situations, proper bad situations, and it wasn't until my last attempt, after I lost my job after a back injury, I felt that I was worthless. I felt that I was useless as a husband, as a stepfather, as a grandfather. I wasn't providing for my family. I wasn't able to protect my family. And that was my last attempt. And after that, a good friend of mine signposted me to Andy's Man Club. For that 30 years or so, I kept all this trauma in. I've kept everything what happened to me as a child, what happened to me when I was 17. I hadn't told anyone. And it was painful. And I was wearing a mask for 30 odd years, and I was a funny guy. I was the one that'd make a joke. I was the one that'd make people smile and laugh. But when I'd go home, I'd be the one crying. And as I say, I went to Andy's Man Club and changed that, and basically right overnight, if you like. The way I was brought up, and then conditioned in the army, a man was a strong, no emotions. It's a weakness to show emotions, to talk, to cry, to get in, to show any of that. It's a weakness, and I had that mindset for years. So that's why I didn't talk. That's why I didn't say what was going on with me. That's why I didn't actually open up to anyone, including my wife, my family. And what's now changed, because I know it takes so much strength to talk. It takes so much courage to stand up and say, do you know what, I'm not doing too well, or do you know what, I'm struggling, or do you know what, I tried to take my own life. And that's what Andy's Man Club gave me, that strength and understanding that it's not weak to talk. I was the total opposite from what we talk about as a man now. That it's the strength is in talking, the strength is in opening up, the strength is in showing emotion. I was I think it's also a generational thing as well, that growing up, my dad was the strong one. My dad didn't show weakness, didn't cry. His dad didn't. My brothers didn't. It was all about, look at, we're the men of the family. And society has changed as well, though. Society has definitely turned around on that, which is brilliant. And it's refreshing to see that now younger generations are coming through and opening up and being honest on how emotions are affecting them, and being able to stand up and say, you know what, I'm not coping with this very well. So I had been thinking about suicide for quite a while, especially when I was in the army. I had made a plan and all the rest of that, and because what had gone on in my life, it got too much. It got overwhelming, and eventually, when I did try it, somebody came in and stopped me at a crucial moment, if you like. Fast forward to being out of the army, back in Civvy Street, back with my family, and again, when I lost my job and my injury at my back, the thoughts were there, and they came quite quickly. It wasn't just like, it wasn't a overnight thing, but it was quite quickly after losing my job and feeling that I was less of a man, I feel like. And the attempt nearly succeeded. If it wasn't for my wife being there and having some knowledge of what had happened. So yeah, that was the last attempt. Again, every attempt had someone or something stop me at the crucial moment, apart from the very last one where my wife stepped in. And yeah, that's about it, yeah. The memories are still coming back quite quickly, and like I said to you earlier, I talk for a living. I don't usually go in this far in depth with when I'm talking, and it's not triggering me or anything like that, but it's remembering that I wasn't in the best of places at all at these times, and I could have quite easily succeeded if it wasn't for people coming and stopping that act. It's hard to think about sometimes, because I now know what I've got, where I am at, and what I've achieved since that. None of that would have been possible. It's affected my family greatly, on both a positive and a negative side. The negative side would be they wouldn't have a grandfather, a father, or a husband. But the positive is that they realise that Granddad struggles, and Granddad's able to talk about his struggles now. I've seen so many people being devastated by this. I've seen families being broken by this, and I don't want that to happen to my family. At the time, I didn't think of it. At the time, it wasn't something that crossed my mind. The afterthoughts were, definitely. And there was a bit of shame. I felt a little bit of shame there. And then I realised that they're there to support me. And if I'd opened up to them faster, I don't think we would have got to where we were. But ultimately, knowing that they're there to support me is a massive positive about it. I've seen the devastation that it causes. When you're not alone, that'd be my first thing to say to someone is, think about this, you're not on your own. There is help out there, and the first thing you should be or try and do is talk to someone that you're confident with, talk to someone that you trust, go to your GP. There is other services out there, but mainly you're not alone. So Andy's Man Club is an absolute, I'm a bit biased obviously, but it's an absolutely brilliant service. That it's guys literally talking to guys, peer-to-peer support. So there's no experts in the room. There's no one there saying, Joe, I know everything. And we're not there to fix guys. We're there to give guys the space to talk. We're there for guys to go in and just get stuff off their chest that they might not want to do in their friend circle, in their family circle, or with a GP. It depends on the person, but ultimately we're there to give that guys a safe space. It's confidential, it's non-judgmental, and it saves lives. And for a while I was like, no, well, does it? But it does. We genuinely save lives. One conversation could literally change someone's mindset. It done it to me. Having that conversation with those strangers changed me, lifted the weight of the world off my shoulders. And I've seen it happen time and time again in Andy's Man Club meetings. Guys come in and they have got the weight of the world on their shoulders. But when you're talking in that group, you unburden yourself. And you leave that group without the weight of your world on your shoulders, even for that 2 hours. For that 2 hours, you're not in that headspace. It gives you the clarity to be going forward. And I would say to anyone, I mean, if it's something that you want to do, just look up and look us up and come along. I mean, being a man is perceived as being hard, I think, because of the generational thing. From generation to generation, it's passed down that you're the breadwinner, you're the man of the house, you're the protector, you are the one that looks after everything or looks after everyone. And men in general, we do not build men up. Men don't build other men. We're not good at building each other up. We're not good at saying, you know what, are you okay? We'll have a chat about that. Instead, it's we'll take the piss out of it. Or we'll go down we'll go for a pint and we'll drink this away. We'll drink our sorrows. A lot of guys wear masks. Everybody wears masks. A lot of guys wear masks just because they need to every day. That's my opinion. I've seen it. I've done it myself. I've worn masks. I've been in rooms with guys that have all got masks on and we're all pretending to be a certain way, a certain attitude, a certain ego. And now, hopefully, what I portray now is that I don't have my ego anymore. I don't have my mask. I'm open and I'm honest. sometimes a bit too honest, sometimes a bit too open, but I'd rather be that than what I was, because what I was doing, I was hiding and masking a lot of pain, and that pain ultimately led me to the path I took before I came to these man clubs.